Good evening, everyone. God bless us all. I had no plans of posting this evening, but someone took it upon themselves to respond to all the comments I had on the post that was entitled, "You Don't Look Like Jesus and Me." And the person said, okay, now that you know this, or now that you know the truth, what are you going to do? And he posted this, he copied this under every single commentor. And I looked at it and I was like, that was interesting. But it shows ignorance because let me explain something. Truth is knowledge. Knowledge is immortal. It stands the test of time. Lies are mortal. They die in time. Now, watch your thoughts. They become words. Watch your words. They become actions. Watch your actions. They become your character. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny. See, within this phrase, it tells you lies subtract. Lies are mortal. They subtract from reality. Truth adds up. It builds up. There is strength in truth. The creative ability to create is within truth because truth is knowledge. But let me get to the point. It is important, biblically important, that we know that we are Hebrew Israelites. We have to know that we are Hebrew Israelites and that we are God's chosen people. There is power in knowledge. There is power in truth. See, once you know who you are, it gives you confidence. It gives you faith. It destroys the subtractions. It destroys the lies. Truth destroys the lies. And when a liar has to face the truth, he runs and hides. Liars run and hide when they have to face the truth because that's all evil has. The only thing evil has is deception. That's why they lie. You tell me, why does a person lie? They lie to hide. And if they're lying to hide, then they are what? They're scared. If they are lying to hide, they are scared. That's why truth is so important. Because it makes them look at themselves. And they don't want to see the ugliness in themselves. That's why they whitewash history. And that's why they whitewash our history, because they wish our history was their history. But it can never be their history. They're delusional. They don't live in reality. And when you don't live in reality, you're doomed. You're doomed. You're doomed to suffer. And what we must do is realize that we are Hebrew Israelites and grasp who we are. Grasp the truth. Grasp the truth. That is where our power is in truth. Truth is powerful by itself. Truth doesn't need anything. Just make a person look in the mirror and see the reality of who they are. You see, ugly people can't stand the way they look. That's why they lie. That's why they lie. They can't face themselves. That's why they want to be us. Because they can't face themselves. That's why they make a movie like Rocky over and over and over and over again, a fictitious person, and then put him in the Boxing Hall of Fame. Delusional. Delusional. Insane. make them wake up to their insanity. When we make them wake up to their insanity, they're done for, because they know they have nowhere to go. They have nothing to do. They can't stand to look at themselves. They are defenseless. The truth makes them defenseless because they don't want to face their own ugliness. And the more we acknowledge who we are, Hebrew Israelites, God's chosen people, the weaker they become. And then when they look in the mirror with them black hats on, with the braids coming down, wearing a yarmulke, they know they're looking at a lie. They know they're looking at a lie. And see, they don't want to face the lie. That's why they came up with this critical race theory in school. They came up with critical race theory in school because they do not want to look at themselves. They know how ugly they are. They know just how ugly they are. Now, and that is why truth is important. This is the meditation that I want you all to practice. I'm going to hold it up. That's the first part. You can freeze it for those who are interested. You can freeze and write it down. And this is the bottom portion. I'm going to read it to you because I have another copy that I made that's probably a little more plainer to read. I used a different font, which should make this should be much more easier to read. There, you got that. You can freeze it so you can copy it. This is the rest. You can freeze it and copy it. And let me read it to you real quick. I titled it My Meditation because, to be perfectly truthful with you, I had no plans of putting this online. This was for my own personal spiritual ascension. And it goes, God in all its characteristics is all of me, is my loving Father and Master, and yet I am of thee. I am his loving son and student. I am both king and slave of myself. I am the shepherd of my thoughts. I need no one other than my loving God and Father. God prepares a place for me in the eye of the storm. His spirit lies deep within me. I therefore reach deep within to touch the stars above and open the door to love and spirituality in search of me in order to fly free. In the non-emotional love and ecstasy of wisdom and intelligence from above and yet within me, all in the seed of truth God planted in me. I wanted to make this short, but let me explain something. Let me go through a brief explanation. God in all his characteristics is all of me. God has many different characteristics. Just like you can say God has many different characteristics because God is all powerful and God is in all things. Is my loving Father and Master, and yet I am of thee. We are of thee because we have the Spirit of God within us. I am his loving son and student. That I think is self-explanatory. I am both king and slave of myself, which means we have the power to control ourselves. We are the king of ourselves, and we can also be, and when we are slaves of ourselves, that means that we serve God. We serve God. Although we are kings, we are subservient to God. I am the shepherd of my thoughts. This means you control your thoughts. Watch your thoughts. They become words. That goes back to the saying I gave you earlier. And we need no one other than God. Because God, and to say that we need no one other than God and the Father is also to say that God exists inside of us. And we have to understand the truth of that. If you don't know where something is, can you use it? If you don't know where something is, can you get a benefit from it? See, we have to know that we're Hebrew Israelites to benefit it. And when you know that you are God's chosen people, there is a power in that. There is a power in that. God prepares a place for me in the eye of the storm. 400 years we've existed in the eye of the storm, and yet we are still here. This is a recognition of the evil that we are surrounded by. We are surrounded by evil. But knowing who we are and believing in God and who we are, we can find peace in the eye of the storm. His spirit lies deep within us. We're spiritual beings. Therefore, reach deep within to touch the stars above. Believe in truth. Believe in truth. Know that the Spirit of God is within you, and that is your power. And it opened the door to love and spirituality. In search of me in order to fly free. We have to know who we are to fly free. We have to know who we are to have to fly free. That's why Israelis are trying to claim our ethnicity. Foolishly, they try to claim our ethnicity, but they can never be us. They can never be us. Not even a reasonable facsimile with what they're doing. They're Caucasians. And as Jesus said, they worship in the synagogue of Satan. Now, in the non-emotional love and ecstasy of wisdom and intelligence from above and yet within me. You see, love is non-emotional. Love is non-emotional. It is an intelligence. When a lot of people say, oh, your heart, the Bible will tell you, is the seat of passions. It's the seat of passion, jealousy, envy, revenge. Things like this are of the heart. For instance, the person you're in love with cheats on you. You act emotionally and bam, you shoot them. That's not love. See, love is non-emotional. And it is the ecstasy of wisdom and intelligence from God above and yet within us. All in the seed of truth. Truth is the nature of knowledge. Truth is the nature of knowledge. And it is truth that will set us free. And God planted that seed in the Hebrew Israelites, into Jews. He planted that seed in us, and that is the seed of truth. But we have to awaken to the truth. We must awaken to the truth in order to begin our spiritual ascension. To begin our spiritual ascension. And we must also accept and obey the 10 Commandments. Now, what I'm going to say to you, when you pray, say the 10 Commandments and promise to uphold them. And then after you do your prayer, meditate on these thoughts. Meditate on these thoughts. Meditate on these thoughts. Or write your own thoughts. But the most important thing is to recognize who you are. We are Hebrew Israelites. And we can look at that Kyrie thing. They wanted to intimidate just Kyrie. And by intimidating him, they wanted to intimidate us. But did they say anything to Amazon? Amazon is still promoting and selling the movie and the book. Did they say anything to Shaq? who played it in his theaters. That's because he is a broke buck. And you know what? If Shaq and Barkley, guys like Stephen A, they don't know who they are. Because if they knew who they are, they wouldn't be selling themselves out. They have sold it. They are cheating them. They are God's chosen people and don't even know it. They are God's chosen people and don't even know it. Some apples fall so far from the tree, they just they just rot. They just rot in the earth. Hey, don't be so concerned about the earth when God has promised us the universe. With this, God bless. Have a great day. And hey, I'm going to keep on posting in a minute.